we
Does that sound
podcasting?
okay? We're podcasting.
Okay.
You guys, you can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts, and you can watch all this beauty on the YouTubes.
And if you're old, you can call it the YouTube, or if you're cool and hip, just YouTube.
the TikToks.
The TikToks, the Instagrams.
Follow us. You know what? Follow us, rate, review, and subscribe also because it's supposed to be good for us. And go to IMOMSOHARD.com and get tickets for our live show. There's some, you can finish out the end of the year with us.
That's right. There's some fun shows. I have no idea when this will air, but we're going to be in, I'm going to say it wrong, Florence, Kentucky. Is that right? Florence, we're going to be somewhere in Kentucky near Cincinnati. Just go
Turfway
to
Park, baby. It's a casino.
Super fun. Just
right
go
after Thanksgiving.
Yep. IMOMSOHARD.com for tickets. Don't buy them from second party scalpers because A, we don't get any of that dough, but B, they're dirty bastards. So they take advantage.
They are dirty bastards.
It's like literally in another life, all I do is go out and just beat down scalpers.
You right the wrongs of
I
the
right the wrongs of
world.
the scalpers. And I'm like, I want you to do the right thing and give them their money back. All they wanted to do was see Elton John, and you took them for a ride.
I'm moving this.
She's moving the arm.
Sorry.
The arm of the podcast.
I see it slipping. Hold on.
This doesn't sound like the first time.
What?
Lots going on.
So you guys.
We're a little stressed. I'm a little stressed.
Yeah.
How do you handle stress?
How do I handle stress?
Yeah. I mean, I think I know how you handle stress, but if I were interviewing you like on Barbara Walters, I would be like, what do you do in your busy time to make yourself feel not like you're losing your fucking mind?
I think if I were going to be like very introspective, I would say I turn very inward and probably actually spend too much time in bed. Like,
you get freaked out?
I don't want to deal. And
Same.
then I will like go to bed when the kids go to bed at night, like, and try to get them in bed like really early because I don't want to deal.
I mean, if my kids would go to bed at 4 p.m., that would be nighttime. I
threatened to 6 p.m. They were fighting, and I was like, if you don't think I will pull the trigger on a very ridiculously early bedtime, you are wrong.
I would be in the best mood if my kids were in bed by 6. Because it's the garbage hours anyway. It's like homework, and everybody's hungry, and everybody's mad because they've been at school all day, or they've just came home from a sport, and they don't want to shower. And it's like no fun. The whole time, all I do is blow my Botox away because I scowl for like 3 hours. If you could erase that, I'd be so happy.
I know. And I got in trouble because I thought our kids had a very early bedtime. And according to our pediatrician, we're fucking that part up too.
Oh.
Sorry, this might be an episode where I swear a lot because that's another coping mechanism.
I think the last thing you need when you're stressed is your pediatrician. Because I just feel like that is a hallway of judgment, a pediatrician. No hard digs on pediatricians, but I'm not a big fan of ours.
Well, it's...
I don't need you to remind me that we need a wellness check. I've been wearing the same underwear for 3 days, lady. You think I don't know?
No, I do. I need you every 6 months or whatever it is to send me a postcard in the mail.
Be like a dentist, man. You don't get to judge me if you didn't remind me.
No.
Like, you know who you're dealing with. I come in and I'm like fully ADHD, like schedules aren't my friend. If I'm supposed to be doing these well checks, I just thought if everybody was okay, we don't go.
Exactly. That's we are Gen X parents.
Yeah, my parents were like, unless your arm is off of your body and laying on the ground, we are not going to the doctor.
Save a copay and not
take copay, right?
After they're like out of the like very early like preschool ages, they're just on autopilot, right?
We hit our vaccinations. We always go to the doctor if somebody's sick.
Yeah.
We're not like, if somebody's injured, maybe we go to a walk-in clinic if it's closer. But I'm just saying, like, the attitude that I get from pediatricians, I'm like, well, you know what? Come over then. Be like the old school doctor. Carry a black case. Come over to my house. Inspect everybody as we're moving around the house at 1,000,000 miles per hour. I don't know what you want from me.
Then they can't schedule 12 an hour or 15 an hour or whatever it is that they do.
No.
I know that's what they do. I was just thinking this today, actually. We are from the generation when if you have moldy cheese, your mom just said, eat around it, you
100%.
pussy. You didn't throw the cheese away. You cut
around it.
And then
what are you, a billionaire?
It didn't matter if it was like grated cheese. If you just you'd fish through the pieces that had a little bit of green or black on them, and you ate the rest of that shit.
Also, they would smell the food. They would smell something, and I would smell it, and then they would stop.
It's fine.
And then they would smell it again, and then they would stop, and they're like, I think it's pretty good.
I think it's fine.
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't want you to think it's fine if you think it's not fine.
No,
and then sometimes you'd be having cereal and you were like, I don't think this is fine. It's fine. What can I do?
Yeah, this milk has a skin across the top of it. I honest to God, I do, and I know
that to be true.
I don't do this with my kids, but I do it to myself. I'll like sniff something and go, that's gonna give me some loose stool, but it'll be worth it because I'm hungry and it's convenient.
Speaking of full tilt, we had a show in Brea.
Yeah.
And so much fun. We got to play a
fun
club.
Show, lots of ladies, local
the
ladies.
Ladies are close. We literally get to see everybody up close and personal, which is so fun. And we felt terrible. This woman had a full medical episode before the show. Like, it was a big deal. They brought in EMT.
It was scary.
It was very scary. They had to give her an IV right there. Whatever, but
we've heard she's okay.
She's totally okay. She's a nurse. Everybody around her is a nurse, and it's also a room of women that are drinking, so everyone thinks they're a doctor.
I was like, Kristin
Guess who wasn't there?
She had to stiff arm me from like going out there. I'm like, no. I'm going to see if she's had right sugars today.
No. And you weren't wrong. I think it was related to that. So we get to the show, and God, TMI. If you're a 28-year-old hot dude listening to this, get ready.
Just watch the YouTube
Just watch the YouTube of this, and I'll probably do some like body movements with this.
To masturbate multiple times.
Yes, get ready. If this is what you're into, then you're sick. Yeah. So this woman has a medical episode. Meanwhile, to our good fortune, and that is not to say her bad fortune is our good fortune, but we had advertised that the show started at a later time, so it kind of worked out. She did us a real favor because we had to delay the show.
She was like, no, I got your back, ladies.
I'm going to quick have a medical episode. And then I always get really nervous and crap 1,000 times before a show.
She's mentioned that.
This was different.
It was different.
I was like, Jen, I don't know if I'm okay. And Jen's like, did you eat deli meat? And I was like, I did. She goes, it's bad deli meat. You're in trouble.
Oh, so wait, no, it's just deli turkey. It's deli turkey.
We had 45 minutes for me to clean the airways. I really owe it to that woman. She went down, and I was able to sort of like, I was like, there were two medical things happening. There was one that was going down.
Yep.
In the club, and the other one that was in a real shitty bathroom.
Yeah, but I announced what was going on with your butt in the club just to make sure everybody.
I just wanted that woman to know that we made fun of me going down just as much as we made fun of her.
Well,
we didn't make fun of her. We made fun of her friends.
Yeah, we did, because they were all like,
"Are you staying?
Are you gonna stay?" I mean, I'm not a doctor. I can't really do anything to help her.
I did buy the tickets.
I'm gonna get sued by Foster's Farms or whatever it is, or Oscar Mayer. But I'm going to say, listen.
Why do you have to name a brand? We're happy to work with you if you want to give us money.
Oh, yeah. I don't even know what kind of
That's probably the problem.
Probably
it's
something from Costco and my husband's, because I don't do Trader Joe's turkey. I don't do that.
That went bad for you?
No, it's like
slimy.
It's the one thing that's expensive at Trader Joe's, I think.
Man. If that isn't Gen X, we're like, I'll buy the cheap and shit for days.
Exactly.
Before buy the expensive and be actually
shaved version of a lunch meat I can possibly buy. It can have a sale tag on it. My body is engineered to withstand.
God, my husband, I'm like, stop buying on sale meat.
But hey, turkey. Don't eat it if you're not going to be home. Don't eat a turkey sandwich if you're not going to be home. Don't stop at Subway for a turkey sandwich. There is something about it that does not agree with the human constitution.
It doesn't work out.
And sometimes you take a bite and you're like, I'm already about to shit.
Yeah,
like as soon as you get
and
that.
This is why I'm not a pediatrician.
Yeah.
Look at that. Well, checks. We don't need that.
Well,
we just eat loose meat and hope for the best.
We cut mold out of cheese. We are the picture of health, you guys.
The picture of health.
But my kids won't. My daughter's like, the label on that milk is a little bit different color than it normally is. It's more of a salmon pink label than usually like a red label. So I'm not going to have anything to do with it. Just kidding. She doesn't drink milk. She doesn't eat or drink anything.
So your pediatrician told you your bedtime is too late? What is your bedtime?
Okay. So whoever lets their husband take the kids to the pediatrician, I did it this one time because we were out of town.
I like it because I don't want to deal with her stairs.
I don't, because I know I'm going to get half the information and a half of that information is going to be wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
I know I'm
he
going to
comes
get
back
half of the
going
information
like,
wrong.
yeah, so I guess they're going to put in like a catheter or
And you're like, what?
No, shit, like he gets the wrong information. This is how much I know he never takes them, because I texted him and I said, do you need the address for the pediatrician? Their appointment's at 4:00. He's like, nope, got it. It's in the same building as the dermatologist, right? Correct. Okay. He calls me at 3:04. Where the fuck is the pediatrician's office?
Yep.
He's on the wrong side of the street, on the wrong side of the highway.
Oh, I know where that is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he doesn't normally do it, but he goes, and I liked it because he got to see the shame that I deal with. Like, I come home and I say, fruit or veggie every meal. I ask the kids, fruit or veggie every meal. He packs lunches. Did you put a fruit or veggie in that? It can't be all carbohydrates.
Yeah.
Well, she gave it to him this time. She has like shamed me before, and she said, she sat both of the kids down, and she does it. It's like grandstanding for the adult to see. Yeah. And she said,
we go to the same
your
pediatrician's office.
Same office, different doctor.
5 different pediatricians.
She said, your bodies are not healthy the way that you're eating right now.
Ooh.
And she goes, like, she wouldn't let Britt intervene. She was like, tell me what you had today. Tell me what you had yesterday. And Delilah was like bragging that she had tried pizza bagel bites. And the doctor goes, no, those are bad for you. Tell me a good thing you ate. And she's like,
Turkey.
Yeah.
Sliced turkey. It smelled a little weird.
A plain bagel?
Yeah.
Is that
a bagel without the
no,
bite?
but it looked suspect because it was kind of a salmon colored
It was
container.
kind of, my
instead
mom
like
just
a
said,
red one.
cut the moldy part off.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
I'm sure she 100% threw me under the bus. So she had said to me before, like, you just need to knuckle down and do the right thing and get these kids eating. And I've tried. I have really given it the scouts effort to like get these kids eating. And then she does, and I don't know if it was because Britt was there and not me. I can always like take everything personally if I want to. But she goes, well, if you guys don't eat as you're supposed to, you're going to have to come in every Wednesday, wink to my husband, for a shot to get the appropriate vitamins and nutrition.
That would do it to me. I would literally crap
So,
and be nervous for that.
Britt said that to me, and I was like, what? Why? That sounds expensive. What am I going to
What
do?
kind
Does
of
she think they're
shot?
really sick? And he's like, wink, wink, wink.
I'd be
And I was like,
why are you winking? What's in your eye? Do you have
Yeah.
allergies? We need to go to an allergist now. Yeah.
so that's our new thing. Like, and it's been working. We're like, look, you heard it from the doctor. It's the state law. I have to take you in and get you a shot if you do not eat what you're supposed to. So it's been working.
Yeah.
My son tried spinach the other day.
Oh, that's
It
good.
was a big old
Sauteed
deal.
spinach is good. I remember my mom was like, we were having a rough go with vegetables. Although my kids have always been pretty good about it. My mom was like, I'll teach them. I'll teach them how to eat
Sure you will.
vegetables.
Sure
And
you
I'm like, I know what Midwest broccoli looks like. It is delightfully covered in butter and cheese. And that could be like tree bark and I would eat it. 'cause
And it's
just-
cooked until all the nutrients are
there's
entirely
no nutrients. It's
out of
so
it.
soft.
Yeah,
You're eating a block of cheese.
yeah, it looks
I'm
like guinea pig food.
I'm
I
like,
know
Terry, your healthy food is delightful. And the kids are like, I don't know, is this vegetables? I'm like, there's nothing in there that's a vegetable.
Yeah.
It's a brick of cheese that started a little green, which is exactly the kind of cheese I used to have when my mom made me cheese.
You just cut it off. and
Actually, it never got green because we had Velveeta. We had food that was never food, and then a lab put it together and made food, and I
Okay.
ate that. You
Well,
didn't eat Velveeta? We had so much Velveeta.
No, I do remember this because my brother thinks he's a good cook.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, can I just tell you?
Well, you're a good cook. You just don't get to cook right now.
That's nice of you to say. I think I've like really regressed in my abilities, partly because there is like homework and everything else going on at the same time. So like
don't know
my
what you
smoke alarm
mean.
goes off every time I go to cook. But my brother, sidebar, said, I think I'm going to learn how to make a shirt. And I was like sew a shirt? He's like, yeah, I saw a sewing machine. He's an engineer, you guys. He's a mathematician. He's one of those people who's
Yeah,
like,
well, good
I
for
remember
him.
I remember this weird Bavarian food that we had at grandma's house when I was 6, and I'm going to find it online and I'm going to make the exact replica of it. And he does. And he works on the recipe. And then so he bought a sewing machine and decided he's going to learn how to sew.
That's because he does not have kids running around.
Exactly.
He's got a husband at home. He's got a nice job with a robust paycheck. I would be making shirts too.
No, but he didn't make a t-shirt, you guys.
He made a button-up.
He made a button-down shirt.
He made a real shirt, not kind of the shit I would make.
In a boy's size 12. So it's all these little pieces. He sewed buttonholes. And
for Dajal?
Yeah, it's a Christmas shirt with dinosaurs on it, you guys. It's flannel. It's the sweetest thing that you have ever seen in your life. But this is why I trust his opinion, because I know he does things like the right way. And he goes, I don't think you liked food growing up and I liked food growing up because it was very canned, not fresh. Overcooked.
They don't have any excuses. Our kids have no excuses. We buy really nice groceries. There's Trader Joe's. There's all this. We're not giving them what we had.
God, no, fresh fruit when I was a kid was called dessert. And I know people who are like, there's a lot of sugar in fruit. And I'm like,
that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard,
nobody
by the way.
gets fat eating fruit.
I don't need... That is the dumbest thing.
You show me anybody.
Exactly. Nate Bargatze has a whole thing about that on his stand-up where
it's absolutely
show me the person that's super fat on fruit.
No, nobody is.
They're not just eating that. They're side hustling.
I forgot that he said that. Sorry, Nate. I stole that from you, but it is part of my mental programming now.
That's why we all love it, because it's so true. There's always someone that's like, there's a lot of sugar in strawberries. I'm like, you want to know what it's really sugary? A strawberry daiquiri. That has a lot of shit.
That's very different. That's like 700 calories. But if you need antioxidants and you have trouble getting them into your body,
if you're on a girls' trip, we're just going to support that you have fruit.
You're not going to die on a girls' trip. There's no way.
Not
you're
from
getting
that.
Fruit.
Somebody wants to go do some stupid adventure dumbass thing, then maybe you'll die.
I bet on a girls' trip, you go on the right girls' trip, you're going to have some kind of like a mudslide sort of drink at some point too. You're going to get some dairy. You're going to be fine,
You're going to be fine. You're going to hit all the major food groups.
Everything's going to come with large chunks of fruit
rubs.
in an umbrella.
Girls' trip, that sounds nice.
You're going to get orange juice. You're going to get mimosa in the morning.
You're going to get mimosa in the morning.
Probably some
Best
kind of like a
been
frittata.
In a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, I love frittatas.
So then you're fine for the rest of the day.
You're fine.
I even have tried just even frozen fresh fruit. My kids are like, no, won't do it.
See, my kids, but
frozen fresh fruit. I'd be like, did we win the lottery growing up?
I do think there is something to what you liked as a kid, and your kid is going to be kind of the same. I loved to eat, but I had specific meals. I was like, Terry, I'm not making this complicated.
Tell me your favorite meal when you were a kid.
I had a very set standard. Terry disagreed and wanted to try new things. I was like, why are we veering off this path?
I'll tell you my favorite.
Burgers, always a win. Pork chop, always a win.
Yep.
A little bit of steak, always a win.
Yep.
Did not care for my mom's pasta or my mom's lasagna, but I loved my Aunt Mary Lou's lasagna. And I was so easy with everything. I just only liked 5 things. So then my dad would try to do some fancy crap, but he also has ADD like me. So if there was ever anything that took more than 1 hour to make, we were eating it raw. Like he made brisket one time. You know how you make... Okay, so I went to Texas and my friend Tara took me to Texas, and her family lived down by the Gulf of Mexico in like the red dirt. I forget what it's called, like the red sand or the red... It's like literally like red clay and these like...
Oh, yeah.
Dirt, windy roads. Yeah. And so their family like treated us like absolute royalty, and we got there and this smell was so... My mouth started to water, and... The grandpa, literally, who had lost his front teeth, literally had lost them, put them down, didn't know where they were. And I was like, you're my people. Made a brisket, buried it in the dirt, and put like all these coals and stuff over it. And it simmered and cooked for 13 hours. Ooh. When we got it out, it was the size of a football. And it would just
fall apart.
It was so good. So I'm telling my dad this.
I'm so disgusting.
And my dad...
This
is, Dewey's like, wow, that sounds awesome.
Sidebar, Dewey still has not talked to me since I said I like a Midwell steak, honestly.
No, not Midwell. You like your steak well done. There's no reason to even order a steak.
Oh, see, now
that
she's
is a
not
hockey
going to talk
puck.
to me, you guys.
That is an unreasonable...
You
need to go to your pediatrician. That is the problem right there. That is the problem.
You can cook a steak that is not bloody, that is not dry.
That is categorically untrue. I don't even know.
These guys, they like a red cool center. They like it to fight back a little bit.
I
They
like
like
it
it to
to
move
move.
away from the fork. Yeah.
If I'm like, yeah, that's a little cold in there. Okay, I see that this was just taken care of 6 hours ago. That's all right. That's how I want it. I don't need it rare. I don't need it bloody. You can't even get that out here because everybody's real scared of all the disease. But I'm like, fine, little pink, right
But
open.
You know why? Can I tell you? Okay. So
But
here's,
let me just say this about
let me
Dewey
see the
real
brisket.
quick.
Okay.
So Dewey, my dad, who lacks patience and see how you seen it through kind of thing, like where my dad
Follow through,
lacks follow through, as do I. I literally just left my house with 2 parts of a picture on the wall because I mismeasured, and so now the third part is just on the floor. I don't know what to do with it. So my dad did the same thing. He's like, we're gonna make brisket the way Kristin had it in Texas, and I was like, Dad, we live in a totally different part of the country.
We don't have a smoker either.
Yeah, we don't have a smoker. He's like, oh, I think I can figure it out on the grill. And I go, Dad, I had to cook for 13 hours.
I got 4 backup tanks. I'll be all right.
Funny you mention. So Dewey puts it on the grill for 2 hours because he is frustrated and hungry and wants to hurry it. So we sat at this table, and my dad, we had brisket that kind of hadn't been cooked, and we were all chewing like, and my dad, we live in a little country town, by the way. There's not many options. He's like, you guys want to go to Pizza Hut? Thank
My
God.
God, yes.
Thank God.
The answer to do you want to go to Pizza Hut is always yes.
Always yes.
To this day.
Yeah, because it was only open like 3 times a year. But yeah, food is tricky. Food is tricky for kids. It's hard to be adventurous. I don't like certain textures.
Can I know,
Yeah.
because can I tell you
I'm
why?
going to have a sip of my wine if you hear a delightful... Jen has what
Yes,
I like
me
to call
too.
rich people ice.
We just got it because our other ice machine broke. So we got the Taco Bell ice machine.
It's the best.
So I went like 10 or 12 years without eating beef or pork.
Sorry for you.
Because I I don't like factory farming, big animal freak. So but now I'm back on the stuff.
You also carry
she
leather
rolls your
bags.
eyes. 100%. 100%.
I think pork doesn't sit well with you.
Use the whole animal. Yeah, because it's very much like human flesh. But here is why.
It's delicious with a little bit of Lowry.
I don't know. But here's why. So if you eat beef, like a steak, you really only need to sear the outside because the bacteria and viruses only live on the outside of it.
Yeah.
When you eat a burger where the outside is ground into the inside, you need to cook the whole fucking thing,
I don't
Kristin.
like a rare burger. That's gross to me.
You order them.
Medium. There's difference. How dare you even talk temperature when you've only ordered one temperature?
My whole life? Are you
I've
kidding
dabbled
me?
with all temperatures.
I have too, but I just stopped doing it because now I'm like, oh, I taste blood.
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah.
The counter always underdoes their burgers and it like falls apart. It's ground beef. Listen.
You guys, just so you know, she judges me on my coffee this way too.
I do. It's
really
not
does.
coffee. It's not coffee if you have 40 creamers and 65 Splendas. It's not coffee.
It's coffee that tastes good. I'm not a cowboy. I don't need to drink coffee that's warmed in a boot and has to be chewed through. I'm not trying to prove anything. I'm trying to be happy. That's all I'm trying to do.
I don't judge you anymore. I just am like, why do we even pay for the
Casey?
coffee? Casey's very uncomfortable.
Casey's giggling a lot. She's giggling a lot. She's God, and then when
surly.
you're like, how do you like your coffee? To somebody, they go, like yours, Jen. Kristin's like, I'll have mine black, have them throw the grounds in there, serve it in a rusty can, and have somebody kick me in the nuts before I drink it. That's the way I like my coffee. And then as I drink it, I'm going to do this. Like I'm drinking straight smoked tequila.
I don't think it's worth drinking unless it's got a little kickback. I think it's the way you know you're alive.
Same way with her burgers and
Same.
steaks.
And then
She
I
doesn't
get
think
like a
they're
little bit of
worth
heartburn. I'm like, whoa, I'm alive.
Unless she can feel like a donkey kick from the inside of her stomach, she does not want to eat beef. And I don't. Okay, so my brother says he's like, we ate like canned everything.
Yeah.
Like, and
canned
I
food
still
is kinda gross.
I still kind of have a taste for it. I'm pretty
What
basic.
do you mean canned food? 'Cause,
I like canned
Chef
peas
Boyardee,
or something.
We never ate that.
No, we never ate anything that was like, except for SpaghettiOs. Until I was
couldn't
in
handle
college and
SpaghettiOs.
somebody told me they taste like barf.
They taste like barf, and they taste too tomatoey. My mom was kind of particular about that stuff. Again, we lived in a small little town, so you didn't have access to like a lot of that stuff. Our meat was from a
That's
butcher.
what I was going to say. You probably had access to more fresh.
Oh my God,
stuff. Like,
the
'cause
best.
I was a military brat. You literally would go to the commissary on payday, and then the line would be all the way back to the meat section.
To grocery shop?
To grocery shop. They would be out of milk. They would be out of hamburger a lot of times. They would be out of cheese.
Wow.
They would be out of so many things. They'd be out of fresh stuff, like, for sure. So if your mom did not get there, like, at the
But then you'd have to go to the regular grocery store.
Then you'd have to go to the regular.
But then you have to pay full boat, right?
It's so much cheaper to go to the commissary.
Commissary, of course.
Yeah. And then you don't have to pay taxes, I guess, on.
But still, you always want, like, when God,
it was such a better deal.
Grocery shopping is so expensive.
You'd have like 2 carts, and every single mom would have 2 carts, kids hanging off of it.
Yeah.
The middle of the aisle would be for waiting in the line that went all the way down the aisle. And then there would be one side, it would be painted on the ground of the commissary.
Yeah.
You'd go down this way and then back up this way. So you go down the aisle twice to get all of your stuff.
Wow.
You'd be out of stuff like all the time.
Oh my
So
gosh.
now I do feel like I think frozen peas are just as good as.
I love frozen peas.
I do too.
Highly argue that frozen peas are great, but that's not canned
I
peas.
think they're better. I put them in salads and stuff like that.
I think they're delicious.
I do too. Canned peas.
Also,
can be a little
what's
heavy.
the option? Do you get fresh peas? Who does that?
Does somebody and then open each little pea
No, I don't
pod?
think. I don't think we're rich.
You have a personal chef if you're doing that, or
Yeah,
you're
I'm
like
not
living
doing
on
that.
one of those like swinger communes where everybody grows their food together and stuff. We've heard about that trend, right? I'm too lazy for any of that.
I'm not growing my own food, and I'm not putting out more than I
Absolutely
have
not.
to
No.
to anybody
More than
else
one
that
person?
I'm
No way.
contractually obligated to.
I get lazy on myself.
Yeah.
So there's absolutely no.
Yeah, I'm seeing to myself first and foremost before I go, gardening. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
If I go
I'm not
plant an
gonna
eggplant anywhere.
share crop with anybody. Anybody
I'm not
else.
sharing my crop,
No,
and I'm not sharing my vagina.
You work your own land.
yeah,
and
you
I'll
do
work
you. I'll do mine.
If you're one of those people who wants to trade, that's up to you. But we're just eating potatoes at my house. We're eating nothing but potatoes and meat from the store.
Say what you will.
That's
You
a
can do a
couple
lot with
days
a
old.
potato. You can do a lot with a potato.
Thank you.
You can do a lot with a
It
potato.
is my favorite food.
Baked potatoes
in
are
the
highly
universe.
underrated.
I know. I love baked potatoes.
I know,
See, we
but
have that
I know
in
because
common.
we're very from the Midwest.
I know.
It's like meat and potatoes, and I think like
My kids have never had to eat a baked potato. Have yours? They have. Kristen's kids eats really well, you guys.
well,
They're good, adventurous eaters.
I would say my husband is an adventurous eater, and my daughter likes to try food. She'll try something. And even if she doesn't like it, she'll go, "It's not my favorite thing."
Yeah.
But my son will have a fit that he has to try something new. Then he'll smell it, and if he likes the way it smells, he'll destroy it, and no one will get a bite. He'll eat all of it. He's just very he's very picky, but also I sort of go, I don't care. I'll lean into what you guys eat because I'm super boring. So like we always have what's called the Sweeney Special, which is a rotisserie chicken from Costco if we can get it, but like the grocery store. We buy a rotisserie chicken and we do
So good.
broccoli and mac and cheese. Nailed it.
It's so good.
That's our basic ass Sweeney meal, and my kids light up like they're at Spago.
Yeah.
I don't want them to know that there's anything better.
You know what my favorite meal was growing up? Ham chops, mashed
Ham
potatoes
chops?
and gravy, and corn.
Oh
I would
my
ask for it
God.
for my birthday.
You just describe a meal that I'd be punished to
You
eat.
guys see what I deal with? Is every
Ew, what's a lamb chop? Are we a ham?
ham chop?
What is that?
It's like a pork chop, but it's like the fattier part. It's like the ham part of it. It's not the muscly part. It's the fat part. That's delicious. It's like a ham
you've
shank.
given up?
It's that kind of cut of.
And
It's
you
delicious.
like pork and beans?
I don't buy any pork anymore.
Wait, so okay, but did you have ham and beans growing up?
Yeah.
Okay, because that was a real staple in our house, and Jesus, our house smelled bad. It was
Yeah.
like I knew what was going to happen. We were all going to eat the ham and beans, and then the house was going to be fumigated for like 48 hours.
My mom would make a ham on like Easter or something, and then you would take the shank and then you'd make beans.
They're
with
always
it.
our parents are good at using like my mom's from a farm, so like they just my mom. I probably should not share this. My mom would definitely share it. Is that they used to grow or raise chickens.
Yep. And then kill them themselves.
And
Yeah.
Yep.
I
And
know,
my mom was like, I could wring a neck faster than anybody in the panhandle. I'm like,
I
gross.
know. It's farm people.
It's farm people. It's just, I mean, I'm kind of a hypocrite if I'm fine to go like grab some chicken breasts from the store. But my mom like literally went out and was like, Henrietta, it's time for you to
Yeah, my grandma used
say
to
your
do
last
that
thoughts
too.
and final words, sister.
I know. And she would like get into a Thanksgiving turkey like a scientist. She
Yes.
was like, she's like, don't waste that part.
No, you can
I'm
use
gonna
that
tie
gizzard.
that together. Oh
you
my
can
God.
you don't ever throw away the gizzard.
She would not waste a single, well, I use the gizzard in my,
Frickin' gravy.
I
Gross.
use it in my dressing. Kristen, it's so good. It's where all the flavor is. It's
I hate
delicious.
Thanksgiving food so much.
Guys, you see, I feel like I'm on an island because Kristen looks at me like I'm the only person in the world who likes gravy.
Everybody
or good
loves
coffee.
Thanksgiving food. I'm an outlier. I don't really like pumpkin pie. I don't
Oh,
gravy.
God, Kristen.
I like mashed potatoes, but only with ranch and only with real ranch, not store-bought ranch. I don't like
You put
freaking
ranch on
what do you
mashed
call-
potatoes?
Yes,
you
ma'am.
put cream on creamy potatoes?
Yeah.
Why don't you put whipped cream on the top of that, you psychopath? I don't understand that.
But then I don't like that stuff that looks like bread dressing.
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 Yeah. It's made with
no,
bread.
thank you.
Oh,
Cranberries.
God.
Nobody likes those. I don't like green bean casserole.
You don't
Looks
like my
barf.
chutney? You don't like my chutney, Kristen? My cranberry chutney? Is this
Yours
how I
is
found
really
this out?
good. I don't care for
Damn it.
it. But I try it every year and I'm not rude.
Okay. Kristen's Thanksgiving dinner, what would it consist of?
Christmas dinner.
Which is what?
Which would be like oyster stew, some sort of red meat, maybe like a meat and cheese board, mashed potatoes with ranch dressing.
Yeah.
Asparagus.
There is a potato jumping off a bridge right now so that it doesn't have to get covered in ranch dressing. Poor potatoes.
I'm not going down like this.
No,
You're
the
not
shame.
covering me with your shitty sauce.
If my mom knows I went out under a ranch sauce, she'll be so ashamed of me.
No one will cover me.
I could have been an au gratin. I could have been in a casserole of some sort. I could have been a baker, a
But I
loaded
was
baker.
Kristen's shitty Thanksgiving Christmas dinner ranch covered potato. Fuck that, I'm going
Ew.
down. I know. I don't like savory flavors very much.
Oh, okay. Savory is my flavor.
Yeah, like Chex Mix. I hate that stuff.
I love
whatever that
Chex
is.
Mix.
See? But we have to
Okay,
have
all
these.
right.
We can't love the same things.
No.
Because we would just be really boring. So now you get to make fun of me and I get to make fun of you.
So you know that there's another flavor, one that my kids will never progress to, I'm sure.
What?
That, like, the Japanese have identified this umami.
I have not had one yet. Will you describe it? What is it? What is it? First of all, is it a
Okay,
mushroom?
can we look up what it's exactly called? It's like,
It's ranch dressing.
so you know how you have sweet, sour.
Oh yeah.
What
it's
are the
supposed
parts
to
of your
be-
tongue? Yeah.
It's supposed to hit the part of that's almost like dirt, right? Like dirt or mushroom.
Well, here, I'm going to tell you what. So there's a place called Umami Burger, and a
Right.
lot of people make burgers that are umami. I think it tastes like, I don't know if you'll like it because it's like, I think it's like a rich Bordeaux kind of flavor that
Rich Bordeaux wine?
Yeah, it's like, oh, here. Casey's got
Interesting.
the seasoning.
Ew, is a burger?
Let me
No.
put my readers
I
on.
already am saying no.
Okay. It's one of the 5 key taste profiles: sweet, sour, salty, bitter, umami. Okay.
No thanks.
It's the savory or meaty taste of foods.
I guess
You don't
I'll
like
try one.
that. You don't like
I gotta
that.
smell it.
But
Can't-
that's
Can't look
weird.
weird and it can't have a weird.
Kristen, but if you like a steak, that's umami flavor, isn't it?
I don't want something to look like it's supposed to be something else and then taste like meat. That's not right. Why are we trying to find another place on our tongue to go, by the way? Don't we have enough going on?
How do you know how much tongue research has been done, Kristen? Maybe there's a whole new flavor that you don't like or that you like that you don't even know
don't
about
think
yet that
so.
they haven't even.
My tongue's done enough work.
She knows what flavor she for sure does not like. Okay, so here are the characteristics of the umami taste. Tongue coating sensation, mouthfulness, long lasting. It's got complexity. That's the thing I couldn't describe. Is it's got like
sounds just like we're talking about taste buds.
Sounds like my marriage. Balanced taste? No, we're not. Salivation. It's true because what it is like, you know, a Bordeaux has like deep.
I love Bordeaux.
Deep flavors to it. You can taste like something that's sweet, almost sour to it. Like you can taste the wine in a Bordeaux a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that's umami flavor.
So it's back of the mouth?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll try it. I'm not going to like it.
But what if you do?
Will you try ranch on a potato? It's delicious.
I will try ranch and potatoes in any form,
It's
Kristen.
the best.
But unmashed?
Totally. Are you kidding me? You make a little cave. You make a little center thing. You build it up, and then you drizzle and it can't be that shitty grocery store. How dare you? It can't be grocery store ranch. It's got to be the one made at home with the packet and the buttermilk.
Sour cream?
And the sour cream.
Okay, so
then
that's
you
like
put it in your mom's Tupperware container that she shakes.
Yeah, that's
then
the
you
best
put it
kind.
in there.
Yeah.
And Terry really did roll the dice a few times on ranch, whether it was bad. She was like,
I don't think it goes bad.
I'm like,
if it's in a container or if it's homemade, yeah, it'll go bad.
If it goes homemade and you're like, I think it's bad. She's like, I think it's good enough. I'm like, fine, it's ranch. How bad can it be? Not bad. Put it on your little mountain cave. Fill it up.
Interesting.
Don't let the other food hit it.
Do you put butter on your mashed potatoes at all?
No.
Do you like butter?
I love butter.
Okay. All right. There's something we can agree on. I
love casseroles. All the casseroles you make, I like. Except if it has breadcrumbs on it. I don't like
That's
it.
every casserole. Well, you don't give me a casserole unless it has Ritz
Your
crackers.
scalloped potatoes don't have that on there, but that's not a casserole.
Kristen, they have cornflakes on the top of them.
Oh, shit.
That's what you do. You have to find something crispy to put on the top of it to make it delicious. So you can stand on top of it.
We've gone from talking about our pediatrician to the most fattening food, and we're like, fuck them. They don't know what's healthy.
They don't know.
They don't know me.
Listen, here's what I am saying, though.
I don't need a well visit.
Based on the few like posts that I've done on our Instagram or Facebook about my daughter's dislike of food, I've always like approached her dislike of food. She has a very sensitive palate. She can taste flavors that she's only smelled.
Yeah.
Like she really does have a strong palate. I think there's no way to force food upon kids without it being somewhat traumatic, in my opinion. Well, and I introduce it a lot, but I'm not going to like have it be the hill that I die on as far as food goes. And I was a really picky eater, and I am too unpicky at this point in my life.
That is not true.
Your palate changes. I don't know if there's anything I wouldn't try at this point. Even though I know there are like 3 foods I really don't like. Like I don't like mushrooms. I will still eat a portobello if it's got the right stuff on it.
Yeah.
This
is where you and I are very different. It all depends on who's paying. Like I don't want to go try new stuff if I'm paying for it. I'm all happy to be adventurous if I don't have to pay the bill.
Yeah. I did go to one of those dinners where somebody was buying it and it was like, this is fluffed.
Then you're like,
stuff.
oh, great.
Okay,
like when we went to our book dinner, although that was French food.
I didn't know
that
I liked
didn't
duck.
work well.
Yeah. Kristen.
Shut up. Exploded in a bathroom.
Yeah.
That was in a very small restaurant in New York. And
are you sure you didn't have deli meat?
It feels like I kind of had deli meat.
Cheese with a little mold.
You guys, it sounds like I have IBS. I don't. I'm just high strung.
I think she might, honestly.
I did when I was a kid for sure, but that was from ADD. I didn't know that the two were related, but it is. It's from when you go through like junior high years and adolescence and puberty, your stomach, especially if you're ADHD, is like hardwired to have like what looks like IBS, and then it kind of goes away.
Okay.
But yeah, so I was a delight in middle school. I'm a delight as an adult. I tried some duck. That didn't work. Went to the bathroom.
It's oily.
And we were 6 feet away. And it was a barn door.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a real door. I could see the shoulders of everybody out there.
It was
my
like a Nordstrom rack fitting room.
Yeah, it was. I was like,
private.
You guys, hey, Jen, can you cough or something, man?
Yeah,
I
did my very best.
Everyone's like, whoa, is she okay?
Call that one-man band in here. I'll tip him extra if he can be extra loud. Well,
That
what are
was
you
a
going to bring?
nightmare.
What are you going to bring for Thanksgiving? See, because this is what I always have to do at Thanksgiving, and this is embarrassing. And I'm sure people go, "Oh, this is really terrible parenting." I'll make like plain pasta for the kids. I'll make them try a little bit of white meat of the turkey.
Can I offer this idea?
Sure, please. Are you kidding me? Yes.
I mean, there is a world where they would say, "This is all you get. You eat. This is your dinner.
Yeah.
It's this or it's nothing." Do you think there's a world where at some point they would have to eat it? Like you go to this trouble to make this beautiful Thanksgiving dinner and you make pasta for your kids. Do you think there's a world where they would just have to kind of, because what happens when they start going over to people's houses? Like Finn came home and he's like, "Turns out I don't like sauerkraut." I go, "You tried sauerkraut?"
Yes.
He's like, "Yeah, I didn't want to be rude." I'm like, "Great. I'm really happy that you were not rude to somebody else." Because
Yeah.
we do not have that same joint agreement in our house. So, but I'm just wondering, like, if
We have definitely tried that. And
it's just,
she is so
is it both?
stubborn. No. Dash, I mean,
He'll make himself whatever it is.
he will eat whatever. He honestly will hear us like mad at Delilah for not eating what's on her plate, and he will eat his
But will
own
he
stuff
eat
more.
vegetables and fruit, like off the core?
Yeah,
ish?
he will. Yeah. He doesn't like. He's not as good at fruit as she is. She'll eat every single fruit.
Well, that's good.
He'll eat most vegetables, but he
But she
doesn't
just
like
won't,
fruit.
she won't do any vegetables.
She won't do proteins except for she has eaten chicken nuggets one time in the last year,
Wow.
and she will eat egg whites.
Okay, that's good.
She'll eat yogurt.
That's pretty good. If it's Greek yogurt, it's better because it's got more protein in it.
Sometimes she eats like a healthy vegetarian.
Yeah.
She really does. So it's not like all carbs. It's
My friend
pretty,
raises her daughter vegetarian.
it's
I don't know
she
how you do it.
She doesn't have a taste for meat. Like my brother never has. I know that irony.
Jen-
I know. No,
Jen had a taste for meat. That is the
Too
name of
early
her
on?
autobiography.
yeah. Yeah. But he never has. He still doesn't eat
Jeff?
meat. Yeah. He doesn't like it. That just
Well,
never
it looks
has.
like you've got this like thing, but I just
But
think socially it might be hard someday.
No, so we decide we don't try to like dig our heels in when we're at somebody's house or when there's family in town or something
Yeah.
like that. But when I make dinner, I say, "Okay, you eat it or you go to bed hungry." So she's so stubborn that she will go to bed hungry. Or the alternative is she will cry
Forever.
for hours.
I know.
And I don't think that's great either.
I know. It's really hard. Everybody thinks they have the answers, but when
They
it's your
don't.
kid and
I've
don't
read
know.
like 2 books on how to get your kids to eat. I try to have them eat their rainbow. I try to hide it and shit. I try
Yeah.
to bake it. But right now, because I'm just trying to keep her healthy without it being a big deal.
Yeah.
And I really don't need my pediatrician telling
my
me the
husband
right way to
down
do
and
it.
my kids that they do not need to eat ranch
I mean,
in butter potatoes because that's delightful.
they take vitamins, they're not hungry. I don't know what else to do. I don't know. Somebody's going to tell me what to do. But if it's anything that flies off the tip of your tongue, I guarantee you I have
You've tried it. Well, we don't know because we haven't gone to our well visit because so
Because you got to send a postcard and remind us because
you're
we're
going to
busy.
send us reminders, man. Our dentist is like, "It's been 11 days since your last cleaning. Do you want to come in?" And I'm like, that guy wants my business.
I know. And
Don't send me a well check 2 years later and shame me.
that's what I want to say.
I'm a bad
Pediatricians,
parent.
get it together. Get
Yeah.
it together. Get your marketing better.
Yeah.
It can't be all shame based. You
Yeah.
got to like send out cute little flyers with a
And then I walk in and
koala
they're like,
that say we haven't seen you hanging around in a while.
Like,
Come in and get
see us.
yeah.
My favorite is when they're like, and to continue being a part of this real sub-level pediatrician office, you're gonna have to pay $100 to be a part of the team. We had to
Wait,
just
what?
rando pay to be a
No,
a
thanks.
part of the practice.
No thanks. No thanks.
I'm just shitting on them. I hope they.
That can't be a thing. Just so
It
that
is a
they,
thing. By
they
the
keep
way,
your,
dummy, you're at the same office.
They haven't done that, have they?
Yes.
They're charging it
Yes.
to my card.
Yes. you knew about this a long time ago. It had to do with like, I think during COVID, it was kind of this effort to like, I don't know.
Make money.
You know,
Here's
like my dad says,
don't
there's
say anything. Dewey
right
says.
side of the truth. There's the left side of the truth, but the real truth is somewhere down the middle. All right.
Here's what Dewey says. You can cook brisket in an hour and a half. If you do it the right way, and that is not true. So, I think you guys. Besides not remembering when to take my kids to the doctor, I went to like enter the grocery store card, which is my husband's phone number in, and I had to look it up. I do it like I am like I don't know if I have
What do you
brain.
mean?
I couldn't remember my husband's phone number. Do I need to go to the doctor?
Yes. You
Really?
know what that is?
What?
Any women over there? I'm learning so much.
Hormones.
This is another.
Is it hormones?
Yes. This is another conversation for another day. But I'm learning so much. But really, over the age of 35.
How dare you?
I know, Jen. You're 37. 33.
33, you guys. Thank you, Casey.
You're 33.
This is why I love Casey so
Jen's
much.
33. Jen is 33. I'm going to have to learn how to do the math on that so I can back up that play. Born in 87? I don't know. When were
Probably
you
not
born,
even.
Casey? 92. Fuck, really?
92.
What the?
Yeah.
I was like
92.
running the Cabbage Patch at my junior prom.
I had already been kicked off my insurance at that point.
Man. I was making some big moves towards the University of Nebraska at that time. What the fuck?
Might have been engaged. I don't know.
I know.
Gosh.
Did I have a kid by then? I don't know.
Whoa.
Jeez. Wow. Mine just dried up. Okay,
Not
fine.
33. Okay.
Not 33, but at as early as 33, 35, your hormones start to change. And all of those hormones, it is incredible to me how much hormones play a part in a woman's mental state in terms of just lightheartedness and happiness. Like,
really?
Like a depletion of estrogen causes like brain
Is this
fog.
why I'm such a bitch right now? Or
I'm just saying there's these weird symptoms that nobody knows about. And if you're driving and you're like, I feel weird, I feel off, I'm not as quick, I'm feeling like slow,
Yes.
go get your hormones checked. Because at least even if they're not in a place where you're feeling like, oh God, here comes the next stage of life. If you're not there, but you're seeing your hormones and you understand them as they change, you can like go talk to a doctor and get like not even just hormones, but supplements that help. Like there's a lot to be done. You don't have to suffer is what I'm learning, which is what I kind of did for like 3 years. And I didn't even know. And then now I'm like learning so much and it's hopeful.
Okay.
You know? So
I'll do it.
get your hormone panel checked. It's
I'll
like,
try it.
listen, you don't need to take your kids to the pediatrician. They're fine.
I
we
feel
need
like
to go
they're
to
great.
doctors. We need to go to doctors. And
Exactly.
I want to go to one where I go in looking one way and I come out looking like something else.
I would love that.
And then I can handle all the shaming from a
Failing
pediatrician.
in every direction. But you know what?
Let's put on our readers because we're 33.
Yeah, I'm gonna read a mom box.
Okay,
So that-
I'm sure I have 40 chins with this mic position. I'm like,
I have a mom box from somebody who does not think we're that terrible, and
that's
the
nice. I thought you were
nicest
going to
thing
say didn't think we're funny.
it's it's Tanya S. And she was let's see, she was at the show this last Sunday. Where were we?
We were at Mystic Lake first, and then we did the Grand Theater. Is that the right name? Because they made us. We got a program. We haven't been in a program.
Oh my God, it was so
I kept like 8 of them.
Nice.
It was really nice. Am I saying that the right way?
Wausau, Wisconsin.
I know,
yeah.
but I wanted to make sure that I remembered the name of the theater. I'm
So-
almost 100% sure it's the Grand Theater.
She was at the Wausau show. She said, Kristin, spelled correctly, and Jen, thank you for the magical, joyful night. I'm going to get sappy here. You have no idea how much your kindness and humor and joy were so needed and appreciated. Life sucks sometimes, and I'm in the thick of it with extended family drama. I've been bogged down and just down in the dumps for months, but us moms continue to show up no matter what. Isn't that
That's
the
so
truth?
nice.
This morning I woke up rejuvenated and joyful. Also, your gift helped me reconnect with a dear friend. Thank you for brightening the world and my world with your joy and your humor. Thank you, ladies. Okay, all done being sappy. Now I feel like I need to make a fart joke.
I love her. That's exactly how I do it. I'm like, feelings, fart, fart, fart.
That was so
wiener,
sweet.
boobs.
It's so nice to get a message like that because, like, people always say, like, when we meet them after the show, they're like, is this annoying? Do you not like it? We're like, yes.
What are you talking about?
It's the most wonderful thing to,
It's
like,
the
meet
best.
people and be
Big
like,
hugs. People look at us with like smiles on their face. I'm like, I'm going to go back to my house where no one smiles at me. So please, can we have more of this?
And we see like your comments and stuff like that. And to see it's like a real person is really magical.
I really liked that we got so many pictures from the Mystic.
Oh, yeah.
And at Mystic Lake.
And just see
it
their
was pictures of the crowd.
So
and
amazing.
these women, I wish I had their names because I'm like,
I know.
Look how gorgeous you look in this picture. Like big smiles and like just a line of women. I'm like, God, if we all just knew that we were like at our best, we look our best when we feel our best, we would just aim to that, you know?
I learned this.
Because I'm going to soft chin no matter what.
Well, but I learned this trick. I'm like, why do I always have my mouth open?
Whoa.
Like, what?
You just learned a trick where you're... Sorry.
Jeez Louise.
Sorry, you just said I learned a trick where my mouth's always open.
Kristen's back in middle school.
Sorry.
No, where like in pictures, I always smile, like big smile, like mouth open smile. And the reason I do it, I'm like, I look better in that. Why is it? And it's because it hides my chin. It hides so much stuff like jowls and stuff. So when we were at the shows this last weekend, when women were like, oh, I'm going to look bad in this picture, I'm like, just smile too big. It's like all anybody looks at if you just smile too big. It really is like the trick.
My husband always goes, I know in a picture if you're really laughing and having a good time or if it's your fake pretty smile. And I'm like, how do you know? And he goes, because if you find it really funny and it's your mouth, your lip is crooked and you have so many, it's all gummy.
All gums.
I'm all gums. So I'm like, but I never like hesitate to like share those pictures because I know in the picture I was having like the best time.
Yeah.
But I do look like I have like chiclet teeth. They're just like, and then like my.
Don't.
That's how it is. If you're watching this, I don't know if you're a 28-year-old dude still hanging out with us, but
She's doing the
enjoy your
piranha teeth
ranch
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. What's up? Oh, I've got a hot flash.
Yep.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. No one's going to be surprised by this at all. Okay. The Sexiest Man Alive episode of People just came out and they gave it to Patrick Dempsey. So well deserved.
Wait, who's that?
I'm going to punch her.
Patrick
Dempsey? Patrick Dempsey, dummies.
See, they don't know who. We're too young. I don't know. Who is he?
From Grey's Anatomy. Jesus.
Oh, dang. I don't watch that show. You watch it. She's seen that entire show beginning to end like 14 times.
You know
I haven't
what?
even
Don't
watched
judge
my
me.
own
It's
wedding
scripted.
video. Okay.
It's scripted.
So?
Freaking Real Housewives, no thank you. I want a scripted drama where I know somebody's going to take off their shirt.
Oh,
that's
Last
always
Housewives.
steamy.
They
They're
were
like,
on Magic
steamy.
Mike. They went to the Magic Mike show.
Well, that's just different. I need it to be staged.
Okay.
I need the love to be staged.
All right. He's cute.
Okay, but that's not who it is.
Okay.
It's not my hot flash. Okay. So Patrick Dempsey's on the cover of People. He's like the main guy, right?
Okay.
And he's hilarious about it. And his wife is like totally making fun of him. And it's fantastic. I don't know how this guy's done it, but he's gotten hotter as he's gotten older, which is totally unfair.
Because she's like.
But then they always have like these other people inside the magazine that have made the cut. And guess who made it? Not Travis Kelce. Jason Kelce.
Oh,
okay.
this is Kristen's secret
I'm telling
crush.
you,
Not so secret.
Love him so much, but I love his wife so much that I feel it's like sacrilegious for me to be like steamy about him. Also, I married a version of Jason Kelce.
Similar. Yeah.
But Jason is like, he's big, barrel chested, and like went into this like deli. He was either in New York. I don't know where he was, but he put on one of their t-shirts to like promote the place, and it was 5 times too small. It looked like he was like trying to shove a Barbie shirt on over the top of him.
Oh my
And he's,
God,
like,
I love
he
him.
was so promoting the place, and the owner was giving him such a hard time. And I was like, he's He is beloved, by the way. He is so popular. Everybody says he's the nicest guy in the NFL.
Aww.
I think he's a good dad. He's a good husband. He's big and burly. And
I keep watching
I
it.
freaking love his podcast.
That TikTok, they shared this clip of when, what?
I FYP a lot on that.
Oh, no. Well, that's why I keep seeing it. So, but I don't hate it where he talks about when he and Travis played each other in the Super Bowl, and when he hugged his mom, he started crying.
He's like, Mama. And I was like,
no.
Oh my God, I'm so emotional and aroused at the same time.
It's major firstborn, secondborn vibes. Like they are nailing birth order as far as their personalities
but Travis
go.
is real lucky to have Jason, straight up. Because Jason has a strong head on his shoulders.
Jason is lucky to have Travis too as a secondborn. Because
I'd just like to say, as an oldest, like we pave, we do a lot of work, we do a lot of heavy lifting, so you youngers can have freedom. We go in and we lead the charge, and then you guys have this fun, happy-go-lucky life, and we have to do all the hard stuff.
You guys have baby pictures. Okay, I didn't know how to read till I was in the 6th grade. Okay,
that is so true.
You guys, speaking of going to the pediatrician, I didn't go to the dentist till I was 7. I had like 8 cavities when I got there finally.
My mom has a picture of me from literally every 3 weeks. It looks like she lived at the Sears studio. I got so good at it. I was like posing by the time I was like 12 months old. There are like, I always joke that there's only 2 pictures of my sister, and it's like from the DMV in her passport.
Your aunts and uncles don't even remember her name.
They don't even know. They're like, you're the 3rd one.
They would rent out the circus for your birthday. Her birthday came around, and they were like, wait, whose kid's that?
Although my brother, he was very cute, and my mom entered him in a cutie contest, and he won it. And so they got this giant poster-sized picture of him, and every time I walk by it, I have a reaction where I'm seething. I'm like, this is some bullshit, because I was the star, and then he came in and won, and now this picture is huge. There's no picture that is bigger than that of me.
Well, that's until you
get
one printed. Here's my headshot collage. And actually, your dad, I know for a fact, has a Barnes & Noble poster that's floor to ceiling.
He does. It's my favorite thing. My dad went back to Barnes & Noble and got the banner that they put on the building.
I know.
In our garage from side to side. So every time I walk in, I'm like, I mean, I just want to see my brother and sister's banners. Where are those banners? Yeah. And my mom's like, Kristin, knock it off. We are very proud of them too. And I'm like,
oldest child right there.
Their book banners.
Everybody, let's tiptoe around these feelings and validate that first one. Second one's just scraping to survive.
Yeah, 3rd one's like very emotional. As they are.
Living in a bird cage in the RV out front there.
We did it, you guys. I think we podcasted.
I think we're done.
Nailed it.